Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading intended for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of October 2020. Hello and welcome, whether you are watching this video for yourself or maybe cross-watching for another individual with Taurus placements. I am very interested to see what we have in store for you, specifically Taurus, because astrologically we are going to be entering your opposite signs season, Scorpio, towards the end of the month, as some of you may know. And that can really be putting a lot of emphasis on your relationships, specifically with Uranus in your own sign, or Uranus, I should say. And it's really been causing a lot of shifts for you and really awakening you in a lot of ways and shaking things up, and really for the whole collective. With Uranus in your sign, it's been causing a lot of the instability that we've been experiencing, because it's actually a call for us to wake up and to really change the ways that we look at money and assets and things like that. Our whole sense of stability is really just being thrown off kilter. And especially in Libra season, this whole thing with balance, again, is really coming into play. And I feel like this is going to be a big theme for you specifically this month, Taurus. And you might even be thinking a lot about your routines, your daily life, finding balance there, because Libra represents your 6th house. So that does pertain to your workflow, that does pertain to your health. It's also about routines, your diet, the ways you're taking care of yourself. A lot of these things might be really on the forefront of your mind right now, or there's just a lot of things in your reality that are making you think about these things. So just to be aware of those, I think, can be helpful. I will reference more of the astrology as we are going throughout this reading here, but kind of to just give you an overall flavor for your month. I do have an astrology blog linked down below. I actually don't have the blog, which I know, awkward, but I do have a list of all the transits and aspects right now. I will be posting my interpretation of all of this in a few days once I'm done with the readings, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I do have all of my links down below for those of you who are looking for personal readings or Reiki sessions, and I also have all of the information you could probably ask for in the description box down below as well. So let's see, what do we have for my Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? Show me clearly. Seems like you're working very hard on something here. Well, let's just work with what we have. We have the 8 of Pentacles here. And this is you being very hard at work on something, putting your time into something. And again, this is making me think of those routines that we've been talking about as well. You may be trying to figure out what is the most productive use of your time, and trying to find time or space to do things that you love with this Queen of Wands energy. Now, some of you may be dealing with this individual who's very fiery or passionate, very determined. This could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But honestly, when I'm looking at this with the 8 of Pentacles, I feel like this is an energy you are tapping into for yourself, Taurus. You're really trying to make some things happen. You're working pretty hard on something here. And maybe that is a relationship, or creating a life for yourself and other people. And we have the 5 of Swords. There could be some issues with this fire sign, or this domineering individual. And you may be needing to take some space from this person. Or you feel like you're already in a hard situation because you're putting your energy towards something, and someone now is coming in and almost criticizing you or making you feel down on yourself, or trying to do that. Ooh, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's energy around you. I am not trusting, Taurus. I actually almost want to say that this is a workplace situation. It could even be someone who holds a position above you with this Queen of Wands. Perhaps an older female, doesn't have to be. I usually don't go into gender with these cards, but for some reason I feel like there's this domineering female. And there's this thing where I almost feel like there are other people involved as well. Like, there's this Queen Bee energy with this Queen of Wands. And I feel like, Taurus, you're just kind of looking the other way. You're trying to work on something or build something for yourself. I'm sorry, this is kind of the order they came out in. So it's like, here you are, focused on your work, being as productive as possible, and here's this person it feels a little interesting, Taurus. Because I don't necessarily think it's this domineering individual per se who's causing you trouble. It's almost like someone for them. Like they have spies, or they have people under them. If this is a family situation, there could be a weird, like, family rivalry, or some, like, taking sides. But I really do feel like this is a workplace situation. And someone might be using humor to kind of mask their intentions here with the hyena. And maybe that's how this sort of weird, sneaky, passive-aggressive behavior is coming out. There's like this fake laughter, or this trickster or jokester energy. And I really feel like it's interesting with the hyena, because a lot of the time this energy represents someone who isn't taking their own dreams seriously. And for some reason, Taurus, I feel like you are. You're trying to make your dreams happen. You're trying to make something happen for your life. And it's almost like, on a subconscious level, this Queen of Wands, or whoever this domineering individual is not happy about that. Let's kind of clarify the Eight of Pentacles, actually. What is it that you're putting so much of your energy in? And of course, this is a general message, so there's going to be different messages here. Some may apply for you, others will not. But I get the sense, Taurus, you're not too... love it. You're not too distracted by whatever it is that's going on around you. And maybe you actually should be paying more attention, to be completely honest. But I have the Eight of Coins with the Magician. You are making your dreams into a reality. Or that's something you're really feeling called to do. You might realize, with everything going through your 6th house, that the work you're doing isn't fulfilling you anymore. And you're really trying to get into this magical energy. You're really trying to make things happen for yourself. And this Queen of Wands, again, could also be signifying you trying to become more passionate. Especially if you have fire somewhere in your chart, maybe your moon or rising sign. And again, when I look at these cards, I don't see just one message, okay? Usually a single card is coming for many reasons. So I feel like this Queen of Wands is you stepping into this energy, and for some of you, there's also this individual who is being domineering, kind of like the shadow Queen of Wands. Dramatic, we could say. But yeah, you're working very hard. You're putting things together. And I have to be honest, with Mars being retrograde in the sign of Aries, there really is a lot of emphasis on ego and people having sensitive egos and conflicts coming from that. Your drive is almost triggering other people. It's like the energy I'm getting is actually crabs in a barrel, where you'll have these crabs all in a barrel together and you don't even have to put a lid on it, because the crabs will keep pulling each other down when they're trying to get out of the barrel themselves. So that's sort of what I'm getting here. And maybe you're kind of just used to this sort of passive-aggressive behavior around you, or this petty behavior, and it doesn't really bother you so much, because you know what's important to you. And I think there's so much that's changing in your life, and really for the next few years, it's going to kind of be an undercurrent for you, this revolution, this changing, this awakening to your magic. And I even have the Seven of Cups here, which is like you almost in this dream state. But honestly, Taurus, I'm a little worried to see this. Not because this isn't wonderful, the things you're working on, making your dreams into a reality, but it's like your heads are a bit in the clouds, and you might not be seeing the trouble that's brewing around you. And you might have some decisions that you need to make. Someone could be taking advantage of you and you're not even realizing it. Or like, you're really supporting someone and they're kind of giving you this weird, like, sense of humor, or just not appreciating you. We do have the King of Chalices here as well. This could be a water sign individual, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. I want to clarify, why is the King of Chalices here? What's going on? Is this... who is this? Tell me about this King of Chalices. You might be the one who's just being the emotionally mature one here in this situation. But honestly, with Mercury going retrograde in your opposite sign, which is going to be happening on October 14th, there could be a lot of things you look over or miss. Interesting. So we have the King of Chalices, now with the Queen of Chalices. I feel like this is you and another person. Again, water sign energy, really showing up very strongly. And you could just be very intuitive yourself. Something that's actually kind of coming to mind, and I know this might sound a little out there, but bear with me. We are getting near Samhain, or Halloween, where the veil is very thin. And you may be connecting with deceased loved ones or spirits, and they're giving you a lot of emotional wisdom or guidance. Even if they didn't have that in their life, it's like when you cross over, sometimes you have a much higher perspective and you see things differently. And you do actually have a full moon in your sign this year on Halloween, on October 31st. And that's really illuminating you. And this big change that's happening, this big spiritual awakening. This could just be you tapping into your own intuition as well. But honestly, it's like, I feel like your intuition is connecting you with guides or spirits who are trying to tell you, like, hey, pay attention. Pay attention here. Something is going on in this situation. And again, the Five of Wands, petty conflict, and needing to step up and be the bigger person. Okay? This is an opportunity for growth. And it might be really easy for you to kind of stay up your head in the clouds, but honestly, Taurus, I feel like if you don't say something in a situation where you're kind of seeing or sensing something is off with you and the people around you, there could be some conflict here down the road. And I'm thinking specifically in November with Mercury going direct and Mars going direct, both of those planets. You might not even see the aftermath of this until then. Tell me more about this Five of Wands. Are mom and dad fighting by any chance? Interesting. Or like this couple here. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, you do need to address something very directly. Again, I'm getting a lot of fire and water sign energy in this reading, so these could be energies around you. And there's a lot of room for growth if you kind of address things head on. And that doesn't necessarily mean you come in and you know, wage war against people, but stand your ground. If you're feeling also some conflict or some tension, address that. And you don't have to do this in a way that's confrontational, especially with Mars being retrograde. It could be really easy to slip into power struggles and a petty conflict. But really just approach this person or this party and say, hey, I'm getting this weird sense, something seems to be off here, maybe we can talk about this, or I'm noticing some things and I just want to have like an open line of communication. And again, you're coming off as the mature one in this situation. Crocodile. Yeah, don't take a super aggressive approach with this. Because Crocodile is kind of watching from beneath the surface, waiting for something to come to it. Waiting for its next meal. I see. So this Five of Wands and this Knight of Wands, someone is going to come in and want to start a fight. And it's almost like by getting you to react a certain way, they somehow win. Or they think that they win. And that's why there's this call to really be mature here. And it's like things are not what they seem. This conflict is not what it seems. There's a trap here. Wait, let's see. And again, it's not saying don't stand up for yourself. It's not saying don't do anything about it, but be really patient in this situation, which I know you can be. You are Taurus. You're one of the most patient signs. Can be anyways. You can also be very stubborn. But again, you started off this month really focusing on what it was that was important to you. And there might even be some element of going back to the drawing board towards the second half of October. But don't forget what's really important to you. Don't lose yourself in kind of the daily drama. Don't lose yourself in whatever is going on around you or with the people around you. I don't really love this energy. I feel like there could even be people, again, when I kind of see the Queen of Wands, or I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups, this can be a very emotionally manipulative individual when not aspected well. This can be someone who can kind of plant seeds in your head or plant seeds in people around them and kind of get them to do their bidding, but they can come across as very caring and sweet, and maybe there's even that sort of crocodile energy with them too, but you can kind of tell, like, the moment you get close to them or the moment you take a misstep, this person comes and drags you down. So just be really mindful of this. I feel like this is coming up for you to be aware of a situation so you don't have to experience it. And maybe to just be attentive to the people around you and the energy around you. I could see that. And again, you know, with everything that's going on in the world this year, there's a lot of opportunity for conflicts. And I'm not one to say that conflict is bad. I think that's a very oversimplified way of looking at things. But there are times when there is fruitful conflict when you can grow. And there are times where people are just very stuck in their head. They're not going to listen to whatever it is that you have to say. And honestly, I almost feel like, Taurus, it's better for you to just, you know, hold your ground, but don't really try to change anyone, because there's so much ego here. I'm not really sure what exactly this is about, and obviously it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for all of you, but I am also seeing this kind of mousy energy at the bottom of the deck here. And a lot of the times the mouse card is someone who can be really controlling and try to be nitpicky. And they would actually be better suited to putting their attention to detail in a project or towards something that can be productive. And again, what is productive for you this month? Don't get stuck up in the little things. Focus on the bigger picture. Maybe the Seven of Cups can kind of help you remember that. I do want to pull one more card. I'm actually going to pull an oracle card for you this month. We're going to be pulling a botanical card here. And this is the Hedgewitch's Field Guide, or, I'm sorry, the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle. All of the decks that I use in these readings are linked in the description box down below. I love this deck. It teaches you the different properties of the plants. It's not just an oracle deck. It gives you the history and different uses for things. And it's a great way to kind of learn about herbalism if that's something that's interesting to you. Interesting. So you have clover, or nurture. And again, I do feel like there was this nurturing element coming from either a crossed over loved one or a spirit guide or something like that. But maybe you need to be a nurturer in this situation and be the bigger person. Let's take a look at what this says. So this is clover. And I won't read all of this, because a lot of this, again, is kind of like the history of the plant. Let's see. Okay. Sorry. Here we go. Clover is a wonderful plant with sweet-smelling blossoms that are widely useful to humans, honeybees, and grazing animals of all sorts. Even the soil in which clover grows benefits from it as a nitrogen fixer and restores the ground between plantings of other crops. The oracle property of this plant is nurture, as the tender sweetness of clover can remind us of how to nurture those around us, and can also apply to the care and tending needed to sustain our own ideas and projects. Some situations in life require discipline, tenacity, and a strong will, and others can only be brought to fruition with the encouragement and kindness. In the tarot deck, the Queen of Pentacles embodies the nurturing sweetness of the plant, and the Four of Wands shows us the joys of a harmonious home and family. So again, I almost get the, like, what's the expression? Honey is sweeter than vinegar. It's like, I really think someone is trying to get a rise out of you for some reason. Someone is really trying to get you to react a certain way. And by you coming in very sweetly, it almost infuriates them or makes them kind of back away. It's disarming to them. I don't know who needs to hear this message. I hope some of you will chime down in the comments to let me know what this applies to. I'd be very, very curious to hear. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know, what is this project that you're working on as well, because I think there's something very beautiful here that is worth your tender love and care and your attention. I am really, really excited for this because I think you are in the process of manifesting something really great, but just be mindful of the people around you and pay attention to the red flags, pay attention to kind of the off comments with the hyena energy. I have all of my information in the description box down below if you're looking for readings or any other information, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Taurus, and have a happy October.